Hey, what's up guys? Let's talk about how to set up Pinterest ads, server-side tracking, conversion API, and pixel tag. These are the requirements. First, you need a GTM server-side setup implemented. If you haven't done so, I have two ways of setting up in my channel where I show you how to achieve this. Second, you need a CMS like Wordpress or ClickFunnels with a form and a thank you page, publisher access in GTM client side and server side containers, access to the Pinterest Business Manager and conversion settings, and finally a GA4 Config Tag. Do you have already the requirements? Let's dive in. As a first step, let's go to the client side container and let's prepare it. Alright, so you can see on my screen my Google Tag Manager client side container. I created a new workspace so I can work only in the Pinterest ads project here, and I won't mess with the things that are outside this workspace. I highly recommend you that you follow this good practice. Next, as a next step, we need to create a variable called event ID. So let's go to the template section. I already added here, but I'm going to show you how to add this template from scratch. You will click on search gallery. Next, you will type here event ID, and we are going to select the step.io template. I'm going to add it here, and we'll add a different name so we can allow the two templates in the same container and don't get a conflict. But this is just for educational purposes. You just have to add it just one time. And assume the template is right there. You will go to variables. Next, go down below, click on new user defined variable, and we are going to name this event ID. Then we will click on variable configuration, select the variable we just created, and click save. We are going to create a Pinterest ads base pixel. So to do that, let's go to new tags, then tag configuration. Next, we are going to click the search icon here and type Pinterest. Select Pinterest tag. And here we are going to fill these values with the tag ID that Pinterest provided to us. To find the tag ID of your Pinterest ads account, you have to go to Pinterest Business Manager, especially the ads.pinterest.com page. Click in the hamburger menu from the top left, and then you will click here at the right. You see conversions. Let's click that. Next, you will see this screen, and we are going to select here Tag Manager. Install the Pinterest tag. Next, let's add the website here. And I will select skip to manual setup. So we already have a base pixel, and actually we can leverage the pixel that the tag we just added in Tag Manager. I'm going to copy this particular value that's the pixel ID. Then I will go back to the client side container, and I'm going to create a new variable for the Pinterest pixel ID. Let's use a constant type of variable. A constant type of variable is just a value that is constant that you can pull anytime you need. Also, I will add the pixel ID here in the name of my variable, so I can like double check from an external view. Awesome. Alright, so here next we are going to select the events to far. We're going to leave it as base code, no event. Alright, so this is just something that we need to roll the Pinterest library, and we are going to select init or initialization trigger so we can fire this tag as soon as we can. All right, let's name this Pinterest as base pixel or base tag or base configuration, whatever you need. This is a let's say a recommended setting. In this tutorial, we are not going to add advanced or enhanced matching for Pinterest, but I highly recommend you to do that. If you want to learn how to do that, leave me a comment and I will write a tutorial for you regarding how to set up this parameter. All right, let's click save. As the next step, we will need to create a page view event, a GA4 page view event that will be the transporter of a page view event into the server-side tracking. Maybe you can be a little bit confused on why we are going to use a GA4 tag. In our video about how to implement server-side implementation, I can reply that question, so please go there if you want to know a little bit more about why we use a GA4 tag to do this. Great, let's go to the new section here, and we are going to select a GA4 event, right? Here I'm going to call out my GA4 config, so we can reuse this variable, and here I'm going to name the page view. And yes, you can use the GA4 Google tag also to handle the page view. In this tutorial, we are using a separate trigger for different event for the page view. Next, we are going to select in triggering all pages as the trigger, so we fire this particular event. And here we are going to do an important addition, and is to add an event ID parameter into the event parameter settings. And let's pass here on the value of this parameter the event ID variable we just created. Let's name this GA4 Pinterest ads copy page view. This tag is a transporter GA4 tag, and you can reuse it. And you can reuse it for GA4 page views, server side, or using this for Facebook conversion API setup. So it's very useful. All right, so as soon we have it, we are going to click save. Next, we are going to create a Pinterest page visit tag. So let's reuse this tag. I'm going to copy it, and I will change the event here to page visit. It's the same thing of page view, but in this case it's page visit. So let's rename it. We are going to keep the same pixel ID. Next, we want to pass an event ID, and we need to enable the custom parameters field right here and add event ID parameter, and we are going to pass in event ID parameter right here, so we can do the duplication. Here we are not going to select the initialization but the all pages tag. Let's click save. The next tag we are going to create is a lead tag, and we are going to start first with the GA4 Pinterest ads copy tag. So let's create new. Well, actually, let's better see what happened when we create a lead on this particular website. So at the end, we are going to be redirected to a thank you page, and we are going to use that. So go to your website form and make a lead submission, and you will inspect in the thank you page what you can use to fire the event. So I already have here this event, the CF lead, and this event also is passing me the User provided data values. This is very handy, but we are going to use just this event. You also can use the thank you page URL as a trigger, but I'm going to use this event because it's so cool that ClickFunnels has it. And all right, so let's go back to Tag Manager. We are going to create a new GA4 Pinterest Ads copy tag for the conversion. So this is a copy. Let's name this lead. I'm not sure how it's naming Pinterest, but just let's name it lead. I'm going to erase copy here. We have the lead event. We want a lead ID event, and we are going to create a trigger for this lead event, and the custom event we are going to select is the one we saw in the data layer. All the websites and container settings are different, so use whatever suits for your setup. And next we want to put save. Now we have to create the replicate of this tag but for Pinterest. So let's leverage this tag here. Let's open that, then click on the three dots. Next we are going to click in copy, and next we are going to name this lead. All right, let's erase the copy, click on config of the tag, and now let's select the drop down here, and we are going to select lead, and we have an optional field for lead type. We are going to leave this open, and the event ID is already here, so that's great. We need to then use a lead trigger. We can reuse what we already built with the lead trigger right here. Let's click save. Beautiful. Let's roll the preview mode and let's test all the tags that we have created so far. So first, let's go here. Let's check the container loaded. That is the page view. This is the ClickFunnels data layer event page view, but this is the actual container loaded page view. And let's see what we have built. So we have the Pinterest base pixel. Actually, it should be here. We did see the base pixel here, and here in the container loaded we see our page view event that we are going to send to the server container, and also we have a Pinterest ad page visits. This is great. Now let's proceed to do a test conversion. Click to sign up. Now we see here the event, and we see that we have two events, a GA4 Pinterest ads copy and a lead client-side event. If we explore here, we can see that no tag issue were found, and the initialization event was good, the lead event was fine. Like this pixel helper, and by the way, I didn't talk you about this. This is a super important tool you should use, the Pinterest tag helper, that you can go and download directly in your browser. I recommend use Chrome for this tool. So everything is great, everything is in a good shape. We can explore the events right here. I'm very happy, this is working awesome. All right, so we already covered everything related with the client side things of the side things of things. And now we are going to go to the server side container and continue with this project. All right, let's go to Google Tag Manager container here. I'm going to create a new workspace for the server container. We can name this Pinterest Ads KP Conversion API Setup. All right. As a next step, we are going to install the Pinterest copy tag template. So we are going directly here to new, then click on tag configuration, and now you are going to click here on discover more tag templates in the community template gallery. Here we are going to search for Pinterest, select the Pinterest API conversion tags by Pinterest, add to workspace, add. We are going to do now an extra refresh It's not necessary, it seems like pick up correctly, but sometimes I have seen this weird bug, so I prefer to refresh. Click on New, go to Tag Configuration, select Pinterest API for conversion tracking. Here we're going to pass the advertiser ID. The advertiser ID can be found by going to your Pinterest account. Then will you go to the hamburger menu, then conversions. Then you will move to the conversion API section right over here. Click on Setup API. Next, you will copy this name, this value, and this is the advertiser ID. Also, you can see that by clicking on the drop down and going back to down the root level of your ads account. Here is the same number, we just copy that. Now let's go here to the advertiser ID. I'm going to select a variable here because we are going to reuse this. So let's name this Pinterest advertiser ID. Save the variable and add it here. Now let's go to the get the API access token. We can find it in the same screen where we took the advertiser ID, and by clicking here in generate new token, we can copy this value right over here and add it in the Google Tag Manager server-side container. The event name, we are going to override it as we can control better, and with this setup there are multiple ways to do this setup. This is one of the setup. For sure you can do it in other ways, like inherit from the client, but we are going to do it like this in this time. So let's go here and name this Pinterest as copy page visit. This is the page visit for the server side, and we are going to pass page visit. We are going to select override client data, and we are going to pass event ID here just to make sure we are passing it correctly. The event ID variable have been not created here on the server container, so let's create that very quickly by going here, name this event ID. In the variable configuration, we are going to select data event data, and here we're going to pass the event ID in lowercase as we pass it from the GA4 tags. Wonderful. Let's see what else we can pass. Here is a parameter that you should turn on to test events with the server-side setup. So let this on, but before you publish, you need to turn this off because you don't want to send all this data to Pinterest. Why? There's no need if you're not debugging. Here in triggering, let's select all pages. This will fire events for all the page views that will reach the server container. So I'm going to save this. Furthermore, I'm going to create the lead conversion event. We just created, and let's name this lead. As this is a copy, we can edit this and pass the lead event. We are going to leave the settings like this. We are going to leave the send a test request, but we are going to change this event to a new event called lead in lowercase, as we are sending with lowercase from the client side container. Let's click save. Wonderful. Let's refresh, and let's refresh here. Very nice. Awesome. So we already have the client side and server side container ready to make do some debugging sessions. So to start a debugging session and test everything you have set with me right now, we are going to go to Pinterest ads, and then we are going to move here to test events. And here we have some indications to roll the server side setup. They say that you have to pass a URL parameter, but we already did that from the client side settings I showed you before. So let's roll the preview modes from the client side and the server side containers. And yes, let's go to the website. Alright, so let's see what we have. We have two tag assistants, the client side and the server side. The page view event is reaching correctly. That is awesome. Alright, so let's complete the lead form and let's see what we have. Let's explore the server-side setup. We have a lead event. We have the Pinterest copy. Very nice. Furthermore, let's say the client side, we have the 2 pixels. Here in the client side, we can explore the Pinterest pixel helper. We see the lead event firing correctly. Let's see what we have here from the server side. We have page visit, initializator, page visit, and lead. We have the lead with the event ID parameter. Let's copy this. And let's find here we have another lead event from the server-side container. And let's see if they are the same. It seems that they are the same. So as you can see, like this debugger show you at the top the client-side events and at the bottom the server-side events. By the way, we have a warning. So I have seen this. It says external ID is missing. Here we can pass like a user ID or something like that we can handle, like we can generate that. It says that we highly recommend this in all events. It may improve reporting performance such as ROAS, CPA, and make your performance resilient to signal loss, like using third-party cookie loss. And alright, so this is a recommendation. You can pass a user ID, and for this, all recommended identifiers are missing: email, phone, first name, last name, hash, mates, or click ID. There, I told you at the beginning that we are not covering this particular setup. This is called enhanced matching or advanced matching. This is the process of sending user-provided data with tags. So this is a warning. It's not like the event is not reaching, but this is a warning that can improve the tracking. So if you can do that, just do it. And if you want a tutorial about it, please let me know in the comments and I will do it as soon as possible. Alright, so this setup is ready for production, and you may have noticed that we have a lot of page visits, and the reason is that we have another page view tag from another tutorial that, as you can see here, we have 2 page views. We haven't created this one, so please ignore it. Yes, just ignore it. So sorry about that mistake. But yeah, the setup overall is working very nice, and the reason I know is the event ID is here. So this event ID here for the API event server GTM, as you can see here, is the same here from the GTM method or client-side method. So after that, after you made your test and you see that the events are flowing here and also flowing in the pixel helper right here, you can go and move forward and submit this container client side and server side. I hope this guide was useful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment. It will help me a lot to grow this channel and return with more projects. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next video.